Acts chapter 20, verse 22 to 24. My emphasis will be in verse 24. Acts chapter 20. Let me start like this. And I want to say some things emphatically this morning. That there is no accomplishment in life without a price. There is no success in life without a sacrifice. There is nothing you desire. There is no aspiration you want to get to without you paying the price or making a sacrifice to get there. So when we are talking about sacrifice, we are talking about our commitment, our pain, the pain we bear, our devotion that gets us to where we are going. We said today God is going to help us. This year we are looking at the possibility of accomplishing great things through the instrumentality of the presence of God. But can we do anything in God's presence without paying the price? Can we do anything in God's presence without sacrifice? I have not seen people who achieve greatly in the presence of God in the scriptures. People we are studying today, I have never seen any one of them that had not one time in life made the sacrifice to get to where they were going. So glorious accomplishment, as we have defined it, that is an accomplishment by the instrumentality of the presence of God. The success is going to be a miracle without a sacrifice. You want to be a medical doctor, you have a sacrifice to pay. You want to be an engineer, there is a price to pay. You want to be great in life, there's a price to pay. You want to be a pastor, there's a price to pay. There's a sacrifice attached to every greatness. There's a sacrifice attached to every good thing in life. In fact, let me say this categorically. If you are not paying a sacrifice, or if you are not paying a price, God don't reckon with people like that. Because I have checked my scriptures and I understood that God values, God appreciates, God understands, even God commands. And God looks forward to a person with a sacrificial heart. And all those people we have seen today that are related to God in one way or the other that we are studying today, even the poor that we are studying today, they are one way or the other paid what the due for where they were going, and they actually got there. Let's take for example Abraham. Today we say Abraham is the father of all nations. Abraham is our father. The blessing of Abraham are mine. And if you look at the blessing of the covenant upon Abraham was that through him all the nations of the world shall be blessed. How did he get there? The first thing that God required from him is what? Go and offer Isaac unto me upon the mountain I'm going to show you as a sacrifice. And he went out. And God saw the heart of sacrifice in Abraham. Because when we were dealing with that matter, I said something that the Bible said in that verse 1, and God tested Abraham. So it was a test. But Abraham did not know that it was a test. So Abraham went out with all determination to slaughter Isaac as a sacrifice. No wonder God had to stop him. But I look at it, God said, go and offer sacrifice unto me. And he was about to do it, and God said, stop. And God said, because of this you have done. What has he done? He eventually did not sacrifice the boy. But God saw that if he didn't stop him, he's going to do it. So God saw the heart of sacrifice. And because of that singular sacrifice that Abraham made, Abraham became the father of the whole nation. That even we that are born millions of generations after, we are still saying we are children of Abraham. Because a price was paid. Solomon, in that chronicle, the Bible says, and he offered sacrifice unto God 1,000 bulls. And that night, the Bible says, and God came down from heaven. What brought God from heaven to him? And you know what the Lord told him was that, say, for this you have done, ask me anything. Whatsoever you want me to do for you, ask me. Because of the sacrifice of one person, heaven gave him an open check. He sacrificed beyond imagination, beyond knowledge. So Solomon sacrificed unto God. And the Bible said that same night, the Lord came to him and said, son, I have seen your sacrifice. Ask me anything. Amen. Ask me anything. David, when there was a problem in the land, and the Lord, he was pleading with God, said, God, take this thing. I am the one that sinned. We all remember the story. When he counted the people, he did a census that God did not ask him to do. And people were dying in the land. And he was pleading to God. Why? God, please take this thing away. And God said, go to a mountain and sacrifice unto me. He got to the place, and the owner of the place said, King, you want to do sacrifice in my land? I dash you the land. And David said, will I give unto God what costs me nothing? You know, there are many of us, we give to God what we can easily give out, what we can lose, what we can lose, what doesn't matter to us. And David said, I will not sacrifice unto God something that is free of charge. I am going to give God something that will pain me, something that will cost me. Say, I won't give to God what costs me nothing. Today, how many of us are giving something to God and that thing touches us? We are talking about attaining by the instrumentality of self-sacrifice. And we all know the story as well. The ultimate sacrifice. Jesus, who gave himself up, and he made that sacrifice for the whole world. Now, I used to ask a question. Now, hear me, people of God. Do you know that God himself made a sacrifice? Hello? I do ask people, who killed Jesus? Who killed Jesus? Huh? Say it now. I thought you wouldn't get it. See, a lot of people have asked them that question. Who killed Jesus? They say it's the Roman people. Who killed Jesus? Say someone says it's the devil. Devil can't kill Jesus. Do you remember when the Roman people wanted to even kill him? The Bible said they could not touch him because his time has not yet come. But when it was time, it was God himself that sacrificed Jesus because of us. And God gave the ultimate sacrifice. He gave Jesus hope so that he can win all of us. To you and I can say we are children of God by the instrumentality of a sacrifice that God himself made to the whole world. And that made me to understand something. There can be an accomplishment if there is no giving up. For every attainable accomplishment, there must be a giving up. So when there is no giving up, there is no accomplishment. When there is no sacrifice, there is no what? There is no success. When there is no sacrifice, there is no breakthrough. And I want to say this emphatically in this place. Listen to me, people of God. The level of your sacrifice determines the level of your accomplishment. God gave his only begotten son. In fact, I saw a replica of what God told Abraham in what God himself did. God told Abraham, offer me Isaac. Sacrifice Isaac for me. And Abraham did what God asked him to do. And Abraham became the father of the whole nation. The same way God gave Jesus Christ for the sin of the whole world. And today, we are all children of God. What would have happened if God did not sacrifice Jesus for you and I? So the level, how great the sacrifice is, determines how great your accomplishment will be. When you give little to life, life will give little to you. When you give little commitment to your career, you will earn little commitment. Listen, what you can't give up, you can't earn. A lot of us today, we are taking our life as if, well, things will fall to place naturally. Things don't happen naturally. You sacrifice to get there. I have seen a lot of you today, when they see a man in chief, say, wow, I want to be like this man. Do you know the sacrifice the man paid? When I was preparing for this, something struck me. And I want to share it with us. Do you know that grace is equal for everybody? Oh, someone say, that man has a higher level of grace. There is nothing called higher level of grace. I stand to be corrected. But in my own experience, I have found that there is no higher level of grace. Hello? We have great men of God in Nigeria today. We have the life of Baba Debo, we have the life of Bishop Oyedepo, we have the life of them like that. The question I keep on asking myself is this. Did God give them higher grace than other ministers in their own generation that make these people surpass all of them? If the answer is yes, then God will have been partial. Do you agree with me? Hello? If it had been yes, that God gave them higher grace, then God will have been partial. Because we celebrate them as men of that operating in higher grace. But the truth is this, it is not about higher grace. It's about the sacrifice they made to tap into the grace that is made available to everybody. A student, 5 students, 10 students, 100 students can be in a class or one. With what? We have first class. Why? Did they not attend the same class? Is it not the same opportunity they had? But you see, when some people are paying the sacrifice for good result, some are playing with their lives. And when some people make good result, you say, oh, I'm a teacher. Listen to me. I don't look at my mates who are making it as if they have higher grace. What I look at is that what they did, the grace they tap into, the sacrifice they made to get into it, the way they are able to obtain, and also tap into the grace that God has made available to every one of us. I want to know it. There are opportunities everywhere. The grace of God is the same for everybody, especially when we consider generation upon generation. But the truth is this, how you tap into the grace is what makes the difference. And how you tap is the sacrifice you paid to enter into that grace. Is someone listening to me? So don't look at people. You want to become the Akogun who God just granted a new Jeep. You better know how to understand the sacrifice you have been paying, so that you can pay the same sacrifice. If not, you won't get there. Oh, every minister wants to be like Baba Oyedepo. You better know the sacrifice the man paid. If you don't know, you can't get there. So grace, the level of operation of grace is a function of sacrifice. It's a function of sacrifice. So when you are not making sacrifice, there's no way you can get to where people are getting to. Now hear me. In Mark, that book of Mark chapter 10, when the 2 sons of Zebedee came to Jesus Christ, he said, Jesus, when you get to your kingdom, let me sit by my right hand, or your right hand, and let the other person, my brother, sit by your left hand. And Jesus looked at them. Do you know what you are asking me? Can you drink from the same cup that I am drinking? Can you be baptized in the same baptism that I will be baptized? Which means, can you make the sacrifice that I will make for me to sit at the right hand of my Father? You just thought it's a platter of gold. Nothing is a platter of gold. You work for it. You sacrifice for it. And Jesus told them, he said, you don't know what you're asking. That many of us today, even especially our youth, we don't know what we are asking. Because listen to me. Every prayer you pray, there is a sacrifice to be paid. Is someone listening to me? That's a what? That's a sacrifice. That career, the level you have today is the level of sacrifice you are paid. Am I talking to somebody? The level you are in your family is a function of the sacrifice you are paid. There are people of your generation who are far better than you. You have the same grace with them, but you are not paying the same sacrifice. And that's the difference. Hello? Learn the act of self-sacrifice.